Hi students, today let us learn about instrumental methods of analysis. When you take analytical chemistry is one of the branch of chemistry. When you take analytical chemistry is one of the branch and it deals with qualitative and quantitative analysis of materials. Analytical chemistry is an integral part of R&D section of any industry. The two steps of chemical analysis, namely qualitative analysis and quantitative analysis. Actually here, analytical chemistry embraces like environmental chemistry, forensic research, pharmacy, medical diagnostics, everywhere. When you take any industry, analytical chemistry is an integral part of any industry. That is why here, when you take chemical analysis, the two steps of chemical analysis, namely qualitative analysis and quantitative analysis. Qualitative analysis is also known as identification step, which gives the information regarding the presence or absence of the constants of the material. When you take quantitative analysis is also known as estimation step, which gives the information regarding the exact quantity of constants of the sample in a solution. Then when you take again quantitative analysis can be classified into two steps: chemical methods of analysis and instrumental methods of analysis. Chemical methods of analysis. So chemical methods of analysis are classical methods. So under this, gravimetric analysis by analysis of constants by weight present in a sample, and volumetric analysis of constants of the sample, or analysis of constant present in a solution by titration. So these two examples comes under chemical methods of analysis. Then when you take instrumental methods of analysis, by using instruments, we are going to analyze, that is, we can estimate the exact quantity of constants present in a sample. Instrumental methods of analysis can be classified into again two types: electrical methods and optical methods. Under electrical methods, colorimetry, conductometry, atomic absorption spectrophotometry, etc., come under electrical methods. In this, one of the physical physical uh, property of a constant is measured. In turn, the weight of a constant of the sample is determined. When you take optical methods, so under optical methods, infrared spectroscopy, nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, Raman spectroscopy, gas chromatography, mass, etc., or the instruments come under optical methods. Under optical methods, how the material acts towards electromagnetic radiation. So based on this property, all these instruments, all these spectrophotometers have been developed. So this is the classification of instrumental methods of analysis. So when you take the advantages, what are the advantages of instrumental methods over chemical methods of analysis? These are important question. Then what are the advantages? Number one is the methods are much faster than the chemical methods. Number two is applicable at lower concentrations. At low concentrations also we can apply these instruments. Third one is find wide applications in industry. Fourth one is the analytical process can be automated. So these are the advantages of instrumental methods over chemical methods of analysis. So when you take disadvantages of instrumental methods, what are the disadvantages? Number one is the instruments are expensive. Sometimes an initial or continuous calibration of the instrument is required using a sample of material of known composition. Then third one is the concentration range is limited. Fourth one is specialized training is needed for the operation of certain sophisticated instruments. So these are the disadvantages of instrumental methods of analysis. So for you under electrical methods, first instrument is and first question is important question. Explain the theory, instrumentation and applications of conductometry. So very important question which carries 7 or 6 marks. It is an essay type question. Then under this, what is the theory involved in this uh, conductometric experiments or conductometry? So here, when you take a solution like a metallic conductor, electrolyte solutions also obey Ohm's law. So Ohm's law is E is equal to IR, where E is the applied potential and I is the current and R is the resistance. Then, so when you take the resistance of any conductor or metallic conductor, so the reciprocal of resistance is called the conductance. It is written mathematically, C is equal to 1 by R. C is equal to 1 by R, equation number 2. It is expressed in Ohm power minus 1 or Mohs or Siemens in SI units. Then when you take resistance, the resistance of any conductor is directly proportional to the length and inversely proportional to the area of cross section of the conductor. Mathematically, it is expressed as R is proportional to L by A. That means R is proportional to area of length of metallic conductor or length of conductor and inversely proportional to area of cross section. So it can be written as by taking one of the constant R is equal to SL by A, where S is specific resistance or resistivity of the conductor, equation number 3. So R is equal to SL by A is equation number 3. Then therefore conductance from equation number 1, you can take from equation number 1 or 2 you can take here. 2 C is equal to 1 by R. Here this is equation number 2. This is equation number 2. Then when you take equation number 2, so C is equal to 1 by R. Again, R is equal to SL by A from equation number 3. Then you can substitute here 1 by S. Okay, that means instead of R, we have to substitute SL by A. Then it can be written as 1 by S into A by L. That is equal to 1 by S. We can take it as one more constant K into A by L. Then this can be written as C directly. C is equal to K into A by L. Then it can be written as K is equal to C into L by A, where K is equal to specific conductance is equal to C is observed conductance into cell constant. So this specific conductance is equal to observed conductance into cell constant. So this is the formula or this is the equation is the basis for conductometry. Then here what is the instrument and what kind of instrument is used to measure the conductance or specific conductance of a given solution using conductivity cell. Then to measure the conductance of a solution, the solution is placed in a cell carrying a pair of platinum electrodes. The measurements are made by connecting the conductivity cell to conductivity bridge as shown in the diagram. So this is conductivity bridge. AB is a uniform wire and AC is a source of current and D is the detector and variable resistance. We can change the resistances of the meter and this is cell. So this shown separately here. So this is the cell, conductivity cell. Conductivity cell consists of 2 platinum electrodes. So this cell is dipped in a solution whose conductance is to be measured. So when you measure the conductance, it shows the concentration and again we can estimate the amount of constant present in a given sample. Then based on this, so based on this, what are the applications are there? What are the applications? Okay, number one. Okay, they may ask you explain any two applications of conductometry along with theory instrumentation. Then when you take the application number one is strong acid with a strong base. So during the titration of HCl with a NaOH, the reaction taking place is HCl is strong acid and NaOH is strong base. The reaction takes place is NaCl, it forms NaCl and H2O. Then here, so when you take volume of NaOH added on x-axis and conductance values on y-axis, it gives a V-shaped curve like this. Why it gives a V-shaped curve? See, upon the addition of sodium hydroxide to the HCl, due to the replacement of highly conducting H plus ions by poorly conducting Na plus ions, the conductance gradually decreases till HCl is neutralized. Once HCl is neutralized, the conductance decreases rapidly due to the hydroxyl ions furnished by sodium hydroxide. That is why we get a V-shaped curve. Then the intersection point of the two straight lines gives the end point of the titration. Means it gives the volume of NaOH added to the titration for the HCl neutralization. By knowing the concentration of HCl, we can calculate the amount of HCl present in a given solution. This is one of the application of conductometry. And second application is mixture of a strong acid and a weak acid with a strong base. Here, so during the titration of mixture of acids with a strong base, the reaction taking place is first HCl is a strong acid. Strong acid reacts with strong base and it forms NaCl and H2O. And again, once HCl is neutralized, then again acetic acid begins to dissociate and reacts with the NaOH and it forms sodium acetate, sodium acetate and H2O. Then when you observe the graph, conductance versus volume of base added, then it gives the nature of graph like this. Then, so during the titration, upon the addition of sodium hydroxide to the acid mixtures, then due to the replacement of highly conducting H plus ions by poorly conducting Na plus ions, the conductance gradually decreases till HCl is neutralized. Once HCl is neutralized, acetic acid begins to dissociate. Acetic acid is a weak acid, that is why it gives less number of ions in the solution. That is why it shows gradual increment in the conductance. Once acetic acid also neutralized by NaOH and it gives a rapid increment in the conductance due to the hydroxyl ions furnished by sodium hydroxide. That is why you get two intersection points and three branches. This is falling branch, gradual increment branch, and steep increment branch. Then this is first intersection point. This is second intersection point. First intersection point gives the volume of base added for the neutralization of HCl. And the difference between these two, like this is V1 and this is V2. So V2 minus V1, or the difference between two neutralization points or endpoints, gives the volume of base added to the neutralization of weak acid. So that by knowing the endpoints and we can come to know the volume of HCl and volume of acetic acid. By knowing their volumes, we can calculate their concentration. In turn, the weights of HCl and acetic acid. Okay, so this is about the mixture of strong acid and a weak acid with a strong base. Okay, so this is about the explain the theory, instrumentation, and any two applications of conductometry. Thank you.